I started this Faceless YouTube channel on the 11th of May and it has already made me $1,400. It literally got monetized in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 videos, and it has already made me $1,400 and is currently averaging around $100 a day or $120 a day, which would mean this channel is going to make me $3,000 to $4,000 every single month on basically completely autopilot because my team handles the whole channel. Now in this video, I'm going to show you guys exactly how to do it too, how you can, go yourself and build a channel exactly like this one. Now, for the people who don't know who I am, I'm Stefan, 23 years old, currently make between $30,000 and $40,000 a month and constantly building new channels. As you can see here, just recently monetized 4 new channels. I've literally made $42,000 with just 2 Faceless YouTube channels. And then, I've built a channel from 0 to $48,000 in just 30 days, as we can see right here. And then I've helped hundreds of other people do the exact same thing. Like for example here, Andre Martins, no, not Andre Martins, but Martins, who have scaled to $31,000 a month single month. Then here for $24,000 a month single month, here $12,000 in 1 month, here $4,000, and many more. You can pause the video and read through all of these. Now if you're interested in getting the same results, check out the first link in the video description, book your call with me and we'll just have a look. If I can help you, scale it up with YouTube. And yeah, make sure if you book the call that you're 100% serious about this, because I only want to work with people who actually want to scale it up. All right. Now, that being said, I would say let's get right into the video. I planned out everything, pretty massive video. So make sure, get something to eat and let's get into this video. So the first thing or the first step of this process is choosing a niche, right? Then we need video topics. Then we get, a freelancer and AI to kind of create the videos for us. Then we post these videos to YouTube and YouTube then pays us for the views. So this is kind of the broad or basic kind of overview about what we're actually going to do. So yeah, let's get started with step 1, which is finding a niche. Now for this, we want to open a new incognito window or even create a brand new YouTube channel just for niche research. Now, a must-have tool that I would highly recommend when you want to do niche research, especially if you want to kind of know more about channels in that specific niche, want to know more data, all of these things, then I would highly recommend Next Level. It's like 13 euros a month. I'll link it in the video description. Now, before we actually go into the niche research and I'll show you exactly how to do niche research, let me actually just very quickly give you the criteria of a good niche. So firstly, there are under 5 smaller channels creating content in this niche that are constantly getting more views than they have subscribers. This means there's high demand and low supply. I've mentioned this so many times on YouTube, but this is one of the most important things when you want to build a Faceless YouTube channel. Very simple. You have to see YouTube as a marketplace, and every single marketplace has demand and has supply. And if there's too much supply for the demand, the prices go down. And that's the exact same thing with YouTube. If there are too many videos about one specific topic, you won't get any views on that, right? And then there are no channels with over 100,000 subscribers. This is very important because these channels already have the trust from YouTube. So YouTube will not see a reason to push a brand new channel if they already know hey, this channel with 100,000 subscribers already makes the viewers very happy. YouTube doesn't see any reason to push your channel. All right. Then there are no smaller channels failing. Very important, plays a big role with this here as well. And if there are a bunch of smaller channels failing, ask yourself, why should you succeed? What is different? What is special about your specific channel? Then the niche is not older than 6 months. If the niche is older than 6 months, in most cases, these here are already filled out, or not filled out, but then you can kind of, cross these two instead of taking them. Then I can create better content than my competitors. This can also just be longer content. All right, we'll cover that a bit later. Then, am I actually interested in this niche? This is not a must as long as you build a team that actually has interest in that specific niche. Is the niche monetizable? And then huge bonus if you can actually go ahead and post long videos in that specific niche. Now, important, give yourself enough time to do niche research and do not rush the process. All right. Now, what I do now is very, very simple. So we're actually going to use a dummy account for doing niche research. And this is an account that looks exactly like, for example, this one. This is a niche research account that I created where, I optimized my YouTube homepage to just show me faceless channels on here the whole time. So for example, here, Lost American Memories. I don't know this channel. This is a new channel and it's absolutely crushing it, as we can see right here. Now, what we can do with Next Level, we can go here to analytics, all right, just as an example. And then we can actually see how much money is this channel making, how many views is this channel getting. So this channel here is actually absolutely insane. And I have to save this channel for myself as well, because this is actually good. But you guys literally saw me finding a niche like just here in front of us. So $30,000 in the last 30 days, 5.4 million views with a RPM of $6. Now, this is how quickly you can find a niche and how awesome it is to kind of use the dummy account and Next Level together. Now, how do you actually create a dummy account? Let's actually go to an incognito window for me to show you guys exactly how to create a dummy account. So just imagine that you are actually logged into an account right here. Then you will actually go to search. And then here, for example, let's say Lost American Memories. So we'll just look for anything. Like what we did is we basically looked for this, what's going on here now? Boom. Okay, let me just open that up again. So here's the incognito. So we basically looked for this exact channel here right now. What we're going to do now is we're actually going to click on a few of these videos. Good night. Boom. And now YouTube is going to show us a bunch of more videos here on the sidebar. And we're actually going to click on these kind of channels here the whole time. And we're actually going to subscribe to these channels, like the videos, just for YouTube to see like, hey, we like this kind of content. And YouTube is gonna show us more of this content. So here's another one. Now let's go back. So we want to do this for a while. Like I don't want you to do it this fast as I just did it, but you can see like here, we just get more and more and more. Here, another one, Once Upon a British Time, 16,000 views, 17,000 subscribers, also just 22 videos. So this is actually crazy. All right. Now, once we've done this for a time, we actually go back to our YouTube homepage, just like this. And then we will see a bunch of other, just faceless content. So here, just as an example, here's one about rugby, which is quite awesome. Let's have a look. 23 videos, doing quite well. The most popular video has 30 or 40,000 views. And this is how quickly you can then find new faceless niches just by kind of using your YouTube homepage. So now we can go back again and we can, again, here's another one, savers. Okay, this one is a big channel, but now you literally go on your YouTube homepage and you can scroll through here and look for small channels that are getting a lot of views. And this is how you kind of do niche research with the dummy account and how you kind of set up the whole dummy account. All right. So then next thing we want to do is we want to actually, we want to do competitive research, right? So we're going to use the niche research sheet to validate all our finds. I'll link it in the video description. Let me just very quickly open it. By the way, my videos are completely uncut for the people who don't know. So if you don't like uncut videos, I would just go away from my channel. Now, while I'm opening it, keep in mind, if you're interested in working closely with me, we'll do all of this together, and check out the first link in the video description. All right, book your call with me. So this is my niche research sheet. So inside here, I'll basically fill out the broad research I do. So if I go, for example, on my YouTube homepage, I'll literally fill in every single small niche I can find. Then we have here X niche. Here we will now basically go and take all of the channels we can find in this specific niche and add all of this data inside here, because then we can actually, get the average revenue the channel is making, the average views, the average sub growth, the average videos a month, the average video length, everything, to kind of then take a very informed decision. Do we want to go into the niche or do we rather leave the niche? Okay. Now here is a niche checklist as well, which you can actually go through and then just make sure that, you can actually grow in that niche. All right. So how do you use Next Level to kind of find more competitor channels? You can go here on similar channels, in-depth search, and then click on search, and then it's going to find all of the channels in that niche. So here, for example, retro glory time, or here old glory days. Yeah, like just a bunch more channels in that exact same niche. Here, another one absolutely crushing it. All right. So then we go to the next thing, which is getting your channel ready. All right, so just quickly had to open the door for my dog. Maybe some of you guys saw the cut. But shadow bans are real on YouTube, and that's why you need to know what a trust score is, right? A trust score is basically how much does the YouTube platform actually trust your YouTube channel, all right? This is extremely important. Now, we have different kind of accounts, and I'll tell you more about the trust score in a second, but we have different kind of accounts. So we have brand new accounts, where you just brand newly create a YouTube account. Then we have aged accounts or aged channels, which you can buy. These channels are like from 2009 to from 2006 to 2009. We have pre-monetized accounts, which I would absolutely not recommend for anyone just starting out, because they can get quite expensive and we don't want to start out with a channel like that. And then we also have personal accounts. All right. Now, personal accounts are kind of the best accounts you can get. Why? Because YouTube already knows there is a real human behind that account. So a personal account is basically an account that you have used to watch YouTube for years now. All right. That's a personal account. Now, we want to warm up every single account. Mainly, we want to warm up brand new channels and age channels to make sure that YouTube actually trusts our account. Now, how do we do that? We use the account as a normal user. We watch 1 to 2 hours of content per day on that account. We subscribe, comment, and like videos. Very important, we don't spam out likes or comments or even the subscribe button, because we want to act as human as just possible to avoid like having a low trust score, or to avoid getting flagged. Now, we do this for 1 week to lower the risk of a low trust score. Now, I just want to mention that this does not always 100% work, but it is proven to work. It is proven to increase your trust score. All right. So if you believe in this or not, I would highly recommend everyone to do exactly this. All right. Then choosing video topics. This is almost as important as actually choosing the niche. We always go for proven concepts, but never steal one-on-one. All right. Very important. We don't go ahead and we steal video topics one-on-one, because your videos are going to fail if you do exactly that. Now, supply and demand in video topics is extremely important. All right. You guys have to know that there is supply and demand of video topics. So if before you kind of go ahead and you create a video, you actually want to go ahead and have a look if, hundreds of people have already created a video on that exact topic. And if hundreds of people have already created a video on that exact topic, you don't want to go ahead and create the exact same video for the 101th time. All right. Very important. Then we want to choose outlier videos. So we choose outlier videos and we lock in our first 15 videos. Now, keep in mind, video topics are extremely important, so do not rush the process. It's basically just as important as, for example, choosing the niche. Okay. Don't rush it. Choose very good video topics. Then we actually go ahead and we hire content creators, for example, script writers. We can find someone on Upwork, or we can even use AI to write our scripts. AI is something that I actually these days use all of the time. Why? Just because it's extremely good. AI got extremely good, very cheap, very fast, and if you prompt it correctly, it can actually be very good, and it can actually deliver very good scripts. Then for the voiceover, we use Fiverr or 11 Labs. Now, 11 Labs is a voiceover generator. What you can also use is Gen AI Pro. This is also basically like 11 Labs, but just like way cheaper. The voiceovers aren't that great as on 11 Labs, but they're still way more than enough. All right. And here you can get like 1 million credits for only $22, which is obviously pretty cheap if you ask me, and anyone can kind of get started with exactly this. All right. Now, don't wonder why I'm signed out. Like, the thing is, my whole family is kind of running channels and everyone is signed into my account. So if one person is signed in, it signs out the other person. All right. You guys will see if you use it yourself. But yeah, then for the editor, we use Upwork or X. Okay. Now, I like to hire my editors actually from Upwork. Why? Because they're going to be way cheaper than the people that we hire from X now. We also have to keep in mind that the people we hire from X are going to be more advanced video editors. But for most channels, you do not need that. You will be completely fine with very basic videos. Then For the thumbnail, we use Upwork or X again. So on X again, you will find extremely good thumbnail designers. On Upwork, you will find more basic thumbnail designers who, again, more than enough. As long as you give the thumbnail designer the information he needs, he will be able to create a very good thumbnail. For channel manager, we usually use X, or what I always do is I actually take a team member and kind of promote that team member to be a channel manager. This is the best thing you can do because that specific person already knows you. They know what you expect from them, but you just need to make sure that that specific person is very accountable. All right. Then the reason, let me actually quickly show you guys the niche or the testing framework before we go into why a channel fails. So what we do is we post 15 videos. All right. So here's the graph. So we post 15 videos. Now, very important is that we actually, let me just draw it with this one. It's a bit thicker. Very important is that we post, skip, post, post, skip, 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 just as an example, post, post, post. Many people laugh at me if I show this, but it's very funny. On YouTube, you actually want to be as inconsistent as possible at this current time. Why? Because again, we want to prove to YouTube that we are human, and humans are very often inconsistent with stuff, right? Now, if you post every single day, same time, everything, very often the channel gets flagged. So we want to be a little bit like slower with the posting in the beginning. This always changes throughout time. So it's not going to be the same now as it's going to be like in 6 months from now. It might change. All right. Now, one of two things is going to happen. Either, you're actually going to get views. So it's going to look like this, and then you're going to get views. Once this here happens, that's the only time where you continue to post. Okay. Because, and by the way, this has to happen within the first 15 videos. Okay. Within the first 15 videos, you have to get one video that actually performs well. Again, this combined with actually choosing good video topics, like you will see if a niche works or not. All right. Now, in scenario 2, we have just a red line where nothing happens, nothing actually blows up. That's actually where the channel fails, and we do not continue to post videos on the channel. Now, we also do not delete the videos because it might be that the channel actually picks up momentum again in like 2 months from now. That has happened to me as well. So never, ever, ever, ever go ahead and delete the videos from your channel. All right. Now, the reason why a channel might fail is because of the following. So maybe your videos are just too short. You always have to keep in mind the video that can keep someone on YouTube for the longest period of time is going to be the video that YouTube is going to push out to a audience. All right. Very simple. YouTube's goal is to make money. And how does YouTube make money? They only make money if people watch ads, and people only watch ads if they kind of stay on the platform. Right. So that's why YouTube will always push out the videos that keep people on YouTube for the longest period of time. So a rough rule that we have is to create our videos 1.5 times longer than our competitive videos. This is just a kind of rough line that we follow to, make sure that our videos are longer. So if your competitor has a video of 10 minutes, we go ahead and we create a 15-minute video. All right. This is perfectly straight. But yeah, then it might be that you just have trash packaging, that your packaging is not good, right? So always have a look at like, hey, where have I maybe messed up? Like, are my thumbnails good enough, or are my titles good enough? Because this is also something where many people mess up, that they don't actually do the research into their thumbnails or into their titles and just take anything and think like, hey, I think this is going to work. But that's not how we work on YouTube, right? On YouTube, we work with data, a lot of data. We want to have as much data as just possible and only work with stuff that has already, that was proven to work in the past. Might be that you have a bad niche. This is, many of you guys, you will go through this, and it's not your trust score. It's nothing of that. Like, not your trust code, not your IP address, anything of that. Sometimes you just have a bad niche. Some channels fail. Completely normal, happens to me too, right? It might also be that you have a bad channel. You will see that you have a bad channel if you're not going to get any impressions. right? Now, if in the case of not getting any impressions, you take these videos and you post them to a different channel again. If you're still not getting any impressions, then it might be a bad niche, all right? So something I'd highly recommend you guys is every single time you start a channel, you actually go back and try to understand, why did my channel not succeed, or why did my channel not work? This is extremely important to kind of go back to and try to understand, because otherwise you're going to do the exact same mistakes over and over and over and over and over again. All right. Now, keep in mind, guys, if you're interested in working close with me, we'll kind of go through this whole process together, so you will not feel lost anyway. You know, just like I did with this student where we hit $18,000 a month. Here won $8,000. Here again, got a silver play button and many more. You can check this out. Then, you know, check out the first link in the video description. Book a completely free call with me. We'll just have a look if it makes sense to work together or not. And then with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video.